the dots, it makes me feel naughty. I feel like I shouldn't touch. You got a no touching sign. I feel like I shouldn't run. You're blocking the exit with your life. Addicted to light, center, always in the limelight. Show ya a real good time. Oh, I know you got something else for me. Like secret language, speaking in tongues. Snake like tongue tied, you on the run. Travel, dancing, I don't know what you are, you are, you are, you are. Summer, solding over my heart. We're both dancing over the dark side. I don't know who you are, you are, you are, you are. You got letters sprinkled all over your body. If I join up the dots, it makes me feel naughty. I feel like I shouldn't touch. You got a no touching sign. I feel like I shouldn't run. You're blocking the exit with your life. You're blocking the exit with your life.
I don't wanna see anybody fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. Put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. But you away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, I wanna leave. You understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. I wanna see you while you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, still spinning inside your orbit. I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. Put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Alright, so today we are getting into our Inkosi Super Cup final for Season 3. So this is the last chance, of course, now for the teams to qualify for the Mzansi League. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting round, I must say.
Yeah. And, well, it has to be. It has to be because, like you said, these are the last chances here that the teams have to get into those spicy positions for an even bigger shot at some spicy stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got quite the lineup with the teams as well for today. We're just waiting, of course, now for the match to get underway. Waiting for everyone to join the lobby. I don't know where they are. We've got a few players in. We've got 49 players in the lobby thus far, waiting for the remainder, of course, now just quickly to join us in the room so we can get everything started, get everything going, and then, of course, bring you guys straight up in towards the action. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have the players in. So we've got, just from my guesstimations here, we've got 17 teams in the room. So that would put us on 40, what's 17 times 4?
Yeah.
So we're 14 players short. There's 50 in the room. We are still shorting 14 players. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're out here asking me maths on a Sunday, dude. This ain't my job. I didn't sign up to do maths.
Yeah, well. We're waiting on 4 teams to still join the room, math and all. And then hopefully we can get into the lobby, get you guys into the action, and then, of course, as Patchy would say, give you some spicy action. So yeah, we are just waiting on those few parts to, of course, now happen.
Yeah. It's I guess it's not a real PUBG lobby unless people are taking their sweet time getting in. So this is how you know it's at least a legitimate lobby that we got going here.
But this now, of course, being the culmination of the teams throughout the month that have participated in the finals, including the one that we had on Friday. So the winning teams from the previous qualifiers, of course, now coming into our monthly final here. And this, of course, then will let the teams qualify, of course, for the Mzansi League. The room has started. Yes, there we go. All right, so without any further ado, let's jump up into the lobby, see which teams we've got. And then we can take you guys into the action as soon as that, of course, gets underway. So here we go. All right. So as you can see, 50 players in the lobby there. We've got the players there from Uso Crimson up in slot 6. We've got the Escapades in slot 8. We've got Tears of Chaos in slot 9. We've got the Night Watch over in slot 12 there. We've got the players, of course, from the TRS crew as well over in slot 13. The players from Mecha 6 in 14. We've got Phoenix Aura in 15. We've got SS Syndicate in 16. The players there from Eclipse Gaming in slot 17. Then also in 18, we've got the team there from Nibble Odyssey. We've got Rain Gaming in slot 19. We also have the players from Effects up in slot 20. And then in slot 21, we have our last team there, of course, being the players from the Testo gang.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what goes down on this in this match today because the last time we were casting these some of these teams, we saw some very interesting stuff. Particularly Night's Watch giving us some interesting heal strats. I wonder if they're going to try that again because we were actually talking a bit about it earlier. It's not a strategy that is going to see a lot of success all the time, but it is one of those strategies that could potentially get you success, on an off chance, especially if you put some effort into it and really sort of perfect it a little bit. So I think if that's a strategy that you really want to go for in a place like this, put a lot of time and effort into actually perfecting the strategy because it can actually come in clutch sometimes, in certain given situations if you read it right. So I'm interested to see if they pull off any interesting stuff or if they'll just sort of revert back to the normal sort of strategies that we see commonplace here.
Yeah. Well, I think we're definitely going to see a bit of an interesting lineup, seeing that we've only got 13 of the 17 teams, that have qualified for these matches, of course, today. We are short on 4 teams, so it's going to make it an interesting one, There's a few teams that didn't manage to make it into the first match. Hopefully they join us up in the second or third one. Hopefully both. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, every chance to get those extra points is useful.
Yeah, and of course we've got a few teams already now busy making their way down, so it's going to be interesting to see how the teams are going to utilize the zone and you know, their current placements, because you've got Tears of Chaos and the players there from Odyssey, as well as the team from Mecha 6 heading up over towards Yasnaya. Tears of Chaos, of course, just heading a little bit past that. We got Uso heading up in towards Stalba. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to be an interesting match. Well, interesting start,
I think so. I think so, because you can see the flight path has actually very much avoided those classic hotspots that we keep seeing most of the time. So no one's going to really be able to drop into George or Rozhok or School. You can see there's one team going towards Pachinki there, but ultimately the teams have sort of been forced to pick other spots to drop in. Now, obviously, seeing that zone has dropped towards the western side, it does mean that players will have the chance to rotate into the hotspots. But you know, speaking of those spots, they weren't able to drop there initially, which is very oftentimes what we see being sort of the comfort drop for a lot of the teams. So they're going to be a little bit outside of their comfort zone, and you can see already some fights happening on the board. But all these teams have had to choose a different spot, or at least a second choice spot, just across the map.
Yeah. No, so it's going to be interesting, you know, what the teams, to see what these teams are going to make of it. You know, and it's a bit of a mix-up. Like, if you look at the map, there's no one really in any of the spots that we used to seeing the teams going towards.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, this map looks a bit empty.
Well, it looks a bit different, yeah.
Yeah, with where they dropped, it seems like the map is almost empty. We know that's not the case, but it surely does look like that. You know, it's like it's a little bit weird, but I guess it's a good weird.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to be on your toes a little bit, you know, in this game. The zone could be anywhere, the flight path could be anywhere, so you always have to be on your feet in a sense where you you just have to adapt to the change and just sort of play your best regardless of where you're forced to drop, you know. You obviously, when you're at this stage of playing the game, you know, you don't have one spot that's the be all and end all, you know, if we pick any other spot, we lose. Like, at this stage, you have to have, you know, at least a second and third choice where, okay, if we can't go here, then we go here. And if we can't go there, we go here. So a lot of the players will still be in a sort of comfortable spot. They just won't be in that maximum comfort spot, which is fine because that means that they're going to be playing a little bit, you know, more, maybe more active to be able to get what they want to get. You can see the fact that the zone's now here on the western side of the map means that all the teams that dropped on the east are going to have to move in slowly but surely, which means, you know, they're going to have the decision, do we try and go into those spots that we love? You know, do we try and break it in there? Do we try and make it first? Or do we try and take a more passive approach, go somewhere else? Do we use this as an opportunity to sort of, you know, get a sort of fresh take on what we want to do? That has yet to be decided. We'll see what the teams obviously decide to do ultimately. Right now, we're just waiting for that zone to come in before anything really happens. We're just waiting for the teams to get their loot going, all that fun stuff as per usual. The only real action that we're getting right now is over in Yasnaya. You can see Odyssey. They did take a couple of hits from SG there, but nothing too crazy just yet.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a little while until we see much action elsewhere, as we do have quite the split up. You know, quite the separation of teams here. And like you mentioned, the only place where we've got our current potential action is, of course, right here. You know, where we got Supreme already taken down not too long ago. And the remainder of the players here from Odyssey, they're, of course, now making their way through. We got Vindok, Sidon, and Mr. Optic. And then, of course, the whole squad there just off in the distance. That, of course, now, you know, being the players there from Mecha 6. So we've seen some good plays. We've seen some pretty good plays from these teams, and hopefully they continue that trend, you know, going on in through this, this match and the you know, the two upcoming rounds that we still have. So hopefully it's gonna, you know, it's gonna turn into a pretty good event. Hoping for that action and hoping to see the players, you know, turning up the aggression as we've seen them do over the past few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, it definitely has been nice to watch, and I always like to see what sort of tactics teams like, like to break out given different situations. Because obviously, like I was saying earlier, you have to adapt to every situation because pretty much anything can happen in terms of where you drop and where the zones go and where the rotations come in. So it's always nice to see the teams, adapting around that and being able to sort of see the situation and make the best of it and decide what they want to do going forward. And I always like to see what's actually decided. Sometimes it's really funny. Sometimes they do stuff.
Yeah.
And we get gameplay off of the back of that. So it's nice to see what happens. Sometimes it's unfortunate. Things can never be predicted. Like a lot of them like to take long rotations. You'll see that sometimes, when the zone gets a bit smaller, some of the teams, instead of going in directly to the zone, they'll actually go all the way around. And sometimes that actually happens a lot, and there'll be like 3 or 4 teams all going around, which means they end up in the same spot anyway. And that always leads to a bit of a bullet sandwich, as we like to dub it. So that's always fun to see. And right now what we've got brewing is a lot of teams towards the western side of the map now moving in slowly. And we could see some clashing here. Effects and Rain somewhat close to one another as the Escapades right behind Odyssey and SG, who's just off towards the north of Yasnaya, and they're all just slowly making their way in towards that first zone.
Yeah, we got pretty much the whole team from Rain already making their way just up in towards zone. And we're waiting to see what's going to happen. Will we see some more? Will we see any engagement from the players here from Effects? Of course, now depending on whether or not they'll be able to run in front of Mr. Sneak there, as he now, of course, tries to sneak his way in. But it seems like we might have some action here with Odyssey and the players there from Effects. Or the Escapades, sorry. Because the Escapades are moving up right behind the Odyssey here. Sidon, of course, now out in the open. Escapades are rolling up. Let's see, will they get their head in on him? Sidon seems to be completely unaware. Oh, there we go. Heard the vehicles traveling. Up they come. Oh, just moving past them. Shots flying in. There we go. Oh, now they're trying to come in to get the knock on him with the vehicle. But, of course, they are taking quite a substantial amount of damage. Sidon, of course, getting knocked out. Now, let's see. Will the remainder of the squad now make the push in? We got Optic and Vindog. Optic, of course, now up in the vehicle there, Sidon getting taken down by the vehicle. So let's see, will they make it, or are they going to decide to return the favor? We might see Vindog maybe moving up towards them. But in the meantime, we've got Rain heading up. We've got some contenders there near the bridge. So we've got the Night Watch, we've got the Eclipse Gaming, we've got the players there, of course, the team there from the TRS crew. As well as Rain moving in, and also don't forget about the players there from SS.
Yeah, a very interesting situation there with Odyssey, actually, because they lost Supreme quite early on with a fight with, I believe it was Mecha 6 up there in Yasnaya. Then they felt themselves on they found themselves on a 3-man, and for some reason Sidon was alone running around instead of in one of the vehicles. I'm not too sure what the reason for that was, but yeah, Escapades actually, sorry, they just ran up there with their vehicles, spotted him out, took him down, just ran him over. And now Optic and Vindog are the last 2 left for Odyssey, so they're quite a couple of members down. It's going to be difficult. Most of the rest of the teams, in fact, I think are all fully stacked, so it's going to be a little bit of a difficult situation. Not impossible, but of course, you want as many players as possible in your squad alive going into the zones, just so that you can get as far as possible. So they're going to have to play a quite different, or perhaps just a lot more to the point, just making sure that they're playing safe and getting in what they need to get in, because they can still make something happen. We've seen even one player do quite a lot of damage, so having 2 is still got the potential, but the fact that all the rest of the teams are still alive is going to make things difficult for them, especially now considering everyone is getting into the zone and the fights are, they're probably going to start quite soon.
Yeah. Well, it looks that way. We've got 13 teams, 48 players left. We've said goodbye to 2 of them, that being, of course, Sidon and Supreme. The first 2 players back to the lobby. No teams being sent back just yet. But hopefully that all will change. And yeah, we're going to see some action. We've got Tears of Chaos, of course, now busy with the drop up in the north there. We've got the players, of course, over here. The other players here from the TRS crew now just getting their loot on the drop. And the teams are slowly but surely trickling in, moving up closer and closer together. So hopefully we'll see some of that action. And we might even potentially see something here with Raid, depending, of course, now where these teams down in the south decide to move to. That, of course, being the players from Eclipse, as well as the team there from the Night's Watch.
Yeah. Night's Watch not playing their heel strat this time around. Obviously, going for more traditional play and looking to get those points in as we come to the close of the season. You know, working towards the next cup. So, are just going to be trying that, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold here. You can see squad just moving straight past the Night's Watch there.
And we got Uso also now trying to get those shots in on Tears of Chaos. We got Jinx, Patriot, Fury, and War. There we go. So they're all just making their way up, just heading up in towards zone. Not too bothered about staying there, trying to get those hits in. We got Mr. Jabro, of course, now rotating up, doing some fancy bike tricks there. But he's got a team right on top of him. Well, one of the players. So let's see, will he go in hot pursuit? Will he get hit in the process? Seems like the team are now moving in. We got a few teams now busy converging. So yeah, the action is imminent. We will have some pretty soon. Just waiting for those teams, of course, now to start putting those hits across, getting that action. And yeah, hopefully we can get and well, you know, see who's gonna turn out to be the victors of the first match.
Yeah. Interesting to see that the Night's Watch is actually doing still a passive approach. You can see them right on the edge of the zone. So even though they're not braving the blue zone, they're still playing all the way towards the edge, just playing a much slower game. So we'll see if it works out for them. Rest of the teams now located towards the eastern side of the zone. Of course, the zone coming up there just over Rozok at school, just a little bit of a chinky as well. Up there towards the northeast. But a lot of the teams still alive, so definite fights incoming for sure as they make their way towards the new zone. Try and get themselves in here. You can already see SG and Phoenix quite close.
Yeah, we've got some shots already flying across, and we've seen, interesting to notice, we've seen 2 flares already being shot off in this round. 2 of which are going straight over towards the players there from Tears of Chaos. So they got the first flare, and now of course they've got the second one too. Oh, there we go. So some nice upgraded kits that we'll be seeing as the game, of course, now progresses onwards. Upgraded weapons, upgraded loot.
Yeah, this is interesting. You can see Phoenix and SG taking some shots here, but Effects, Rain, SS, they're all moving up into a spot that's already populated by 3 or 4 teams. This is going to be one heck of a cluster down here towards the southwest.
Yeah, you can see Effects pulling up straight into there. We've got Rain and now also just driving past the players, of course, here now from... Ooh. The Testo gang getting pushed by Effects as they move into the compound, completely surrounding them. We've got the players from Mecha 6 also moving up. Beach Police moves in. It's up to Lil Boat. Lil Boat now, of course, being the last one left. Shots flying in. And Lobby. Well done.
Yeah, that's that was quite interesting. A lot of the teams moving up, and so we still see some fights happening around here. You can see a lot of players just fumbling around as they just run straight into one another. Just a lot of shots going off. There's no time to sit around for any length of time here. No time to recuperate. It's just continuous fighting to try and resolve, or a very swift retreat for all of these players right here, trying to get themselves to a little bit of a safer zone and recoup a little bit. Reassess the situation. You can see Mecha 6 and Odyssey quite close as Sneak gets knocked out. Straggler off towards the side there. The rest of Rain, though, right up in the center of the zone. Some of the other teams just trying to get their way in, trying to make their way safely into the zone as that blue zone comes in. Hungry for any of the players, but it hasn't been fed just yet, although that usually changes as we get to the last couple of zones. We'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. There we go. The zone has shifted up once again, and we've got loads of teams very close together. We got Tears of Chaos, of course, now just battling it out with the players here from Eclipse. Got Monster and Stash just up on the hill. They are quite widely spread out. We got Effects also now trying to put a few hits in. We got War trying to push up. Effects just putting hit after hit up straight over towards the Night's Watch. Here we go. So Night Watch managing to escape just ever so slightly. Oh, man, it's like everyone's playing. I don't know. It's like it's a car match this round. Everyone's driving around in vehicles, shooting at each other. It's quite interesting, I might add. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly is. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, the vehicles that are there, can be utilized in the game, and perhaps it can give you a nice advantage, you know, being able to move swiftly and maybe evade the crosshairs of your enemies. But, you know, there's obviously pros and cons to each move. Now, meanwhile, down in the southwest, a lot of shots going off their Phoenix, getting into a bit of a battle. And, well, their battle is very much over. We have our second team back in the lobby now. Only 11 remaining as they try and make their way up into the zone. Number of teams clashing around towards the center. The Night's Watch running into Tears of Chaos.
Down they go. Well done to Tears of Chaos.
Yeah. Night's Watch not getting anything out of their play this time around. Now we have some more fights potentially breaking out against Rain Gaming there with the Escapades. Also Effects and the Phoenix team also clashing down there towards the southwest. So we still got a lot of fights going on the map.
Yeah, and definitely we see the Escapades pushing up quite aggressively over towards Rain. But we've got some nice retaliation there from Bread, of course, now. Squeak and Quickscope. Ooh. Trying to move up. We got Phoenix and Effects also putting those hits in. Odyssey, of course, just up ahead. A beautiful grin there by Dexter. Gets the hit in, and then of course the players there from the TRS crew also getting a quick few sneak hits.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. Bit of an attempted third party or assistance here as Effects and Phoenix go at it. The Escapades and Rain go at it, trying to resolve their fights to try and make it into that zone. No chance for escape or rotation. It's just gatekeeping one another to try and play the frags, try and get those kills in that are very much necessary for those points that all of these teams definitely want.
Yeah, no, but it's great to see how the room has already evolved, going from, you know, quite a passive start, making its way all the way in, you know, and coming in straight up into, you know, the aggression that we are seeing now as all these teams now start to converge on each other here. Shots just flying up from Phoenix side right over towards Effects. Oh, Ozone now the last hope for left here for Effects. Let's see, will he be able to defend himself against the players from Phoenix as they now try and move in, quite hungry for those thirsts. We have the players, of course, also there from the TRS crew getting hit in the process. Oh, beautiful play there by Slay.
Yeah, definitely well played there. Phoenix making sure that, you know, the team couldn't really get over the mountain and get towards the zone. So they managed to gatekeep quite well there. On the other side, Rain and Escapades is still going at it, trying to take some shots towards one another. You can see there quite a number of the Rain team falling. Quickscope trying to make things happen here.
And it's now up to Sufyan. Let's see, will he be able to get it? Quickscope just bobbing back and forth. We've got Squeak now moving up as well. Let's see, will they get there? Oh, nope. Lobby it is. Well done to Rain.
Yeah, finally that fight gets resolved, but more are starting here as Uzor chase down Odyssey as they move into the zone. They're absolutely hunting for this one. They do not want to let these guys go. It is just a car fight that we are witnessing right here. Uzor just going nuts in their vehicles and taking some pot shots here. A little bit of a different vibe than we usually get, but it's quite nice and refreshing to see in a sense. Very interesting strategies being used here, but that
Yes!
is the danger. That is exactly the danger of that strategy. That is why you don't see people running around in cars so aggressively so much. It's because it can just absolutely blow up in your face. And well, I'm sure you're quite happy about that one.
Yes. I am very, very, very happy. Well done. And but a beautiful attempt though there by Uso. They made it quite past quite a few teams, but unfortunately Phoenix didn't let them get by. And yeah, down they went. Up comes Born, puts the shot into quickscope. Well done, well played.
Yeah. Well, now we are left with a very interesting final few zones here. You can see there isn't much in the way of cover other than some hills and of course this portion of buildings that we've got going on here that might not stay in for too long. So it's basically just pot shots across this fields, well, relatively empty ground.
Yeah, and the teams are definitely on the move. You can see the players, of course, they're from Mecha 6, slowly but surely closing in on the TRS crew. We've got Born, now the last one left here for the SS team. We've got the TRS crew, we got Phoenix just up ahead of them, trying to get a few hits in on the players there from Odyssey. But they are also now getting shot at, as well as the players here from Mecha 6. Closing in on the players, of course, as well now. So the TRS crew might get a little bit more company than they were hoping for. But we will see how this unfolds as we've got the players here from Mecha 6 now closing in. Joker just up on the top here. Hitman, of course, getting raised up. He's got fairly low health left. Phoenix now right in the crosshairs. Let's see, will Joker take these hits? Put it up in towards Phoenix. No, he gets a grain to the back. And now it's up to Hitman. And I don't think he's going to be moving that much.
Oh.
What a thirst. Shade. Yep, no, that was a beautiful one. So
Yeah, I don't think Hitman is long for it. So that's probably him gone. And SG successfully managed to get themselves up there. Now that zone is moving in once again, and this is going to fully eliminate the buildings portion. It's going to force everyone in just across these fields with barely any cover. Odyssey have made a good show of staying alive long enough to still be in this one, despite having only 2 players. You can see SS on the other side of the road. They're just hunkering down a little bit, waiting for an opportunity as SG take the pot shots, and Odyssey are firing back as well. Phoenix is here just amongst the trees. We have 5 teams left in this lobby. And of course, now made to 4 teams as Hitman does get taken up by that zone. Didn't look like he was moving very much there. I think he sort of just gave that one up. Now we wait to see who does what. SS looking to move up. Here, Vindog got to sniff this one out. See if they can capitalize.
yeah, Vindog is very, very close there to Born. So let's see, will he get the hit? Born, of course, just quickly repositioning ever so slightly. Dropping a few smokes. And you got the players there from Mecha 6, of course, now also trying to make their way up into zone. We've got a drop coming down right here on the Odyssey team. So some nice little goods there for them. And then, of course, the players here from Mecha 6 just trying it to rotate up there, of course. Now flying out in the open in a vehicle. Not the best time to be doing so. There we go. Shots. Oh.
Dangerous move, but one that pays off ultimately in the end with at least 1. But they're going to have to recuperate a little bit before somebody decides to move up on them and capitalize on that. Vindog could potentially put some hits in, but it would give away the position. For now, they're just happy to sit on top of that little mound, give them a little bit of extra sort of advantage there. Phoenix still operating out of the small amount of trees that we've got going on there, sort of forest. But there is that capitalization. There's Vindog just utilizing that higher ground to get some shots in towards SG, who are trying to res themselves up here. And Vindog actually doing some good damage here. He's able to take down Poison, make things very difficult here for Mecha 6.
Yeah, even Optic also, he's doing quite a great job of shooting, keeping the players there from Phoenix at bay. And it's interesting to see how these two players are trying to keep everyone out of the zone. They're having the blue zone, of course, now creep up behind them. But they must just not lose focus on where they focus. You know, we've got Vindog, of course, focusing his attention over to Mecha 6 as they now start to move up.
Oh,
Quick drop. Optic getting shot at. Both Vindog and Optic taking a bit of damage there. Up comes Joker. Oh, down he goes. Beautiful shooting by Vindog. It is now up to Shade. Shade now still holding up behind the vehicle. You jump over to Optic. Optic also still in the clear. Still trying to keep the players from Phoenix at bay, but they are now, of course, starting to move in. So Vindog doesn't have a lot of time left. He's, of course, right on the apex here. Oh, there we go.
Vindog. That confidence is just huge, and it pays off even bigger. That is so great. One single player challenging a team of 3 and taking them all down single-handedly, and both Optic and Vindog are doing exactly that. Now, Optic's going to lose the fight against Inspector, but really, really props to Odyssey for being a 2-man squad and just having absolute iron confidence right there. Really, really good stuff. That's definitely going to pay off. And you can see Vindog putting in some good shots. Ziad now getting dropped, but it's a huge, tall order now, and it's not going to be fulfilled. Inspector taking down Odyssey. Well played. That was great. That was really, really well played.
Yeah, no, that was some beautiful gameplay there from Phoenix and Odyssey. You know, like you were talking about the confidence from the team there, some amazing confidence in those players, in their own skills and abilities. And then, of course, Phoenix, you know, taking the moment to assess the situation and then choosing to push up right when they've kind of figured, you know, that these last two players are not sitting in the best position. You know, they don't have the upper hand anymore. You know, so well done. That was truly a beautiful finish. And yeah, you can see just looking at the kills here for Phoenix, they finished their playoff on 12 kills. We've got Odyssey, Mr. Vindog there on 6 kills. We've got the players from Mecha 6, of course, finishing off in 3rd place, coming in with 9 kills for their round. We've got Born there from SS getting the 2 kills for the team. We've got the players, of course, from the TRS crew here finishing off in 5th place. We've got Rain in 6th place, Uso in 7th. We got Tears of Chaos in 8th place, the Escapades in 9th, Effects taking 10th place, the Night Watch finishing off in 11th. We got Eclipse Gaming, of course, in 12th place, and then the players there from, I think this is Testo Gang, or yeah, I think it's Testo Gang. Let's just double check. Yes, yeah, Testo Gang, of course, being sent back to the lobby first. So there you go, there you have it. That was quite the interesting start to the finals for today. And
yeah,
definitely a lot of action. I must commend the teams for that. It was great. Some beautiful movements there, and some great dominance, you know, by some of the players. You know,
I must say,
Vindog and Optic there.
It's definitely been a very interesting first match to watch, because first of all, the beginning of the match starts out with all the players forced to drop in sort of different spots, you know, in different spots than they might be used to. So we've already got a little bit of a spicy thing there to see, and it's good to see the team start adapting. But then we also see some teams picking up some interesting strategies, you know, hopping into a vehicle, going very, very aggressive in it, you know, just looking for the fight. So we saw that quite a bit. So that was interesting. And then also, yeah, like you said, some really great movements, and very much props to Odyssey for, even despite being down 2 players from basically the beginning, they managed to survive all the way up to the final zone in the top 3, and then making the decision to split your 2-man team up into 1 on one side and 1 on the other side, so that both of your players are literally 1 man against an entire squad, and just having the confidence and the iron face and will to just stare them down and take them on is just really, really, really incredible to see. And that is the sort of thing that you want to see more of. You know, that's really top tier right there. And Vindog did an incredible job of just single-handedly keeping keeping a team at bay and taking them down. And of course the same to, I believe it was Optic, who was doing the same on the other side. So yeah, we saw some great stuff from start to finish basically, and it was quite entertaining. And I'm very keen to see the next one.
Yeah. No, some great work there by the teams. Well done, well played, guys. Yeah, we're going to jump up into our quick intermission while we wait for the second round to get underway. So we do have a few highlights from the round as well. We'll be showcasing those, and then of course after that we'll bring you guys back once we get our second room underway. So without any further ado, let's jump straight up into that. Here we go. Rain are now also just driving past the players, of course, here now from the Testo gang getting pushed by effects as they move into the compound, completely surrounding them. We've got the players from Mecha 6 also moving up. Beach Police moves in. It's up to Lil Boat. Lil Boat now, of course, being the last one left. Shots flying in. And well done.
Pros and cons to each move. Now, meanwhile, down in the southwest, a lot of shots going off there. Phoenix getting into a bit of a battle. And, well, their battle is very much over. We have our second team back in the lobby now. Only 11 remaining as they try and make their way up into the zone. Number of teams clashing around towards the center. The Night's Watch running into Tears of Chaos.
Down they go. Well done to Tears of Chaos. Yeah, shots just flying up from Phoenix side right over towards Effects. Oh, Ozone now the last hope for left here for Effects. Let's see, will he be able to defend himself against the players from Phoenix as they now try and move in, quite hungry for those thirsts. We have the players, of course, also there from the TRS crew getting hit in the process. Oh, beautiful play there by Slay.
So they managed to gatekeep quite well there. On the other side, Rain and Escapades is still going at it, trying to take some shots towards one another. You can see there quite a number of the Rain team falling. Quickscope trying to make things happen here.
And it's now up to Sufyan. Let's see, will he be able to get it? Quickscope just bobbing back and forth. We've got Squeak now moving up as well. Let's see, will they get that? Oh, nope. Lobby it is. Well done, to Rain.
Are starting here as Uzor chase down Odyssey as they move into the zone. They're absolutely hunting for this one. They do not want to let these guys go. It is just a car fight that we are witnessing right here. Uzor just going nuts in their vehicles and taking some pot shots here. A little bit of a different vibe than we usually get, but it's quite nice and refreshing to see in a sense. Very interesting strategies being used here, but that
Yes!
is the absolutely blow up in your face. And well, I'm sure you're quite happy about that one.
Yes. I am very, very, very happy. Well done. And but a beautiful attempt though there by Uso. They made it quite past quite a few teams, but unfortunately Phoenix didn't let them get by. And yeah, down they went. Up comes Born, puts the shot into Quickscope. Well done, well played. Dropping a few smokes, and you got the players there from Mecha 6, of course, now also trying to make their way up into a zone. We've got a drop coming down right here on the Odyssey team. So some nice little goods there for them. And then, of course, the players here from Mecha 6 just trying it to rotate up there, of course. Ooh. Now flying out in the open in a vehicle. Not the best time to be doing so. There we go, shots.
Oh. Dangerous move, but one that pays off ultimately in the end with at least
bit of damage there. Up comes Joker. Oh, down he goes. Beautiful shooting by Vindog. It is now up to Shade. Shade now still holding up behind the vehicle. We jump over to Optic. Optic also still in the clear. Still trying to keep the players from Phoenix at bay, but they are now, of course, starting to move in. So Vindog doesn't have a lot of time left. He's, of course, right on the apex here. Oh, there we go.
Vindog. That confidence is just huge, and it pays off even of 3 and taking them all down single-handedly, and both Optic and Vindog are doing exactly that. Now Optic's gonna lose the fight against Inspector, but really props to Odyssey for being a 2-man squad and just having absolute iron confidence right there. Really good stuff. That's definitely going to pay off, and you can see Vindog putting in some good shots. Ziad now getting dropped, but it's a huge tall order now, and it's not going to be fulfilled.
But now that I'm gone, you want me back. Yeah, I gave you everything. Gave you a diamond ring to watch it fall from your head. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. And I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. You came back to me. I don't trick or treat. Don't knock on my door. Don't want you no more. You broke me, and I don't wanna see you. And I don't wanna see you again. Now just trying, oh, to deny the fact. The fact that there's never less to you. I played the game but lost the bet. I don't wanna love again. And I don't wanna love again.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so we are getting ready for our second match of the finals, our monthly finals. And yeah, Patchy and I we were just busy discussing the play that we saw at the end there, the beautiful work there that we saw, you know, from the teams, and absolutely fantastic work. Yeah. It's been...
If you missed that first match, then I 100% recommend going and actually just watching it. Like at the end of this stream, just go back right to the beginning if you missed that first match and just watch it, because it's quite interesting to watch. It really is.
Yeah. No, it's been a fantastic match, and it's great to see, you know, the players really bringing their A game for today. And of course, we're waiting now for our second match to get underway so we can jump in, and hopefully we'll have a continued round like that. You know, some more great players, some great action. You know, something that's really, you know, call it noteworthy in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to see, you know, when teams that are quite capable, you know, when you've seen them play and you know that these teams can like they're 100%, like, you know, these guys can play the game, right? You know, they're good. There's a reason they're here. You know, they've got sort of the basic stuff down. You know, it's not like they're noobs or they're struggling with some of the basic things. Like, it happens sometimes, but ultimately they've got those core things down. I love to see when teams like that take something sort of unknown or something that doesn't really get done a lot, and they try and make it their own. They try and sort of adapt new strategies and come up with new things that could really change how the game is played or change how things work on the map. So I really like to see that. I like people coming up with new and interesting things or trying new stuff out. You know, it's all well and good to see that in sort of and whatnot, but like to see it on a level like this is really great.
Yeah. No, we've seen some fantastic plays in that first round, and hopefully, as I said, it will continue up into the second and even the third round. You know, so we'll have a lot to be talking about, you know, in between the matches while we wait for everything to get underway. And it's really interesting to see, you know, the iron go for goons. That would be the safe word to use. The size of the gonads on the two players there from Odyssey, just taking each of them taking on a team in the final zone. Absolutely amazing work. You know, that's not really something you can plan for in advance, but beautifully executed. Well done. Fortunately, it didn't bring them the chicken, but I mean, wow. Some amazing plays there.
Definitely. I mean, it didn't get them the chicken, but I mean, getting second place is nothing to scoff at, especially when you're half a team down from, like, you know, the beginning of the middle of the match. So yeah, commendable stuff. All the teams doing some really great work. You know, I really have been impressed with the improvements that we've seen match to match, game to game. You know, every time I come back here and cast a match and just see what the teams are getting done, it's really great to see them just you know, perform better and better. And I mean, some of the teams, we've seen them have, like, you know, days where they're not doing as good, but it's always nice to see them bounce back. You know, it's that sort of mental resilience that really sort of makes the caliber of players that make it up to this sort of level. So it's great to see, and yeah, I'm keen to see more.
Yeah, all right, so let's jump up on into the match. As you can see, of course, now we've got 47 players in our second round. We've got the players there from USO once again in slot 6, the Escapades in slot 8. We've got Tears of Chaos in 9, the Night Watch in slot 12. We also have the players, of course, there from Mecha 6 over in slot 14. We've got Phoenix in 15. The players from SS Syndicate holding up in slot 16. We got the players there from Eclipse Gaming in slot 17, Odyssey in 18, Rain in 19, Effects over in slot 20, and then of course the players from Testo Gang over in slot 21. So we've got a few more seconds left until the zone, or rather until the map gets underway. So we can jump up. We've got Mr. Fury, of course, now going for a bit of a swim, cooling down, you know, just making sure everything is cool and calm and collected, you know, before the stress of the match kicks in.
Gotta circulate that heat.
Yes, you need to circulate them bloods, you know?
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. It's a little bit more traditional, but a little bit more of a comfortable zone for some of the players who are a little bit more used to dropping into those Rozhok School, Pachinki, George sort of areas. So we're going to be able to see that zone, or sorry, the flight path. Why am I? Zone's a thing. We're going to be able to see that flight path going down there from Primorsk all the way up just to the edge of Suverny. So a little bit more comfortable drop this time around. But yeah, I'm still interested to see what the players bring to the table in this match.
And we've seen the flight path start at that particular spot numerous times, time and time again. And we've also seen the flight path end in that exact same starting location. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see. Sometimes we've got it, you know, leaning more towards the Stolper direction, which of course then gives us greater access, you know, to the majority of the map, because it kind of splits straight down the middle of the map there in a diagonal sense. But, you know, the teams here don't seem to be too phased about the direction of the flight path. You know, they are still making their way down regardless. And, yeah, we've got quite a big number of them, of course, now dropping off, heading over in towards the eastern side of the map here. And we've got SS and Effects also heading out. We've got the players there from the Testo gang, as well as the team there from Mecha 6, now heading off over towards South George. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to choose to drop down where. We also have a team over at the Sosnovka military base. We've got
We have half a team over towards the Sosnovka military base. I would like to point out at this point, and I apologize for the interruption, but I would like to point out at this point that there are 2 players of the Night's Watch in the Sosnovka military base right now, and 2 of them on the other side over just sort of next to Quarry and Primorsk, or all the way towards the coast there. The other 2 players are there, and they purposefully dropped in opposing directions like that, and I'm very interested to see what they do with that.
Well, at least you've got your 2 players there. And, yeah, you've got, so we've got some joy there for Banshee's side. He is seeing people touch down over there. So hopefully they'll bring you some more great joy. Let's hope for that.
Yeah. Not needless to say, there are 4 teams now in between Pachinki and Farm. 4 of them dropping in this area, which is quite interesting because it's not an area that we see a lot of teams decide to go very often. So interesting to see that there's a lot of teams there. We have some classic spots like School. You can see 2 teams sitting over there. And of course, in North and South George, we've got 2 teams each. So interesting concentration around, you know, that area between Pachinki and Farm. There's quite a number of players there.
But it's great also because we don't have our usual spots being used, you know, as we've seen them being used so many times before. So it's great seeing the players changing it up, changing up their drops, you know, changing up the strategies that they are using. You know, it definitely makes for more interesting gameplay, you know, because not only do they themselves have to cope with the new strats, but also now it confuses the opposition, because the players get used to, you know, they go back and they watch the video, see where the teams are dropping, so they know, okay, cool, if I want to take on this team, this is where I'm going to go, this is where I'll find them, you know. And now they're mixing it up, and it's catching everyone by surprise, you know. Everyone's a bit you know, a bit iffy about it. It's like, okay, this is unexpected. What do I do now? And now they've got to start thinking on their feet, come up with the strat right there, right then, you know. And we've seen some pretty good implementations of that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So nice to see some variation and some interesting things getting tossed out there strat-wise. Hope we can see those come to some interesting conclusions. You can see Uzor here just on the edge of Rain Gaming, where they just sort of sliding around the map, checking what's going on here in this space. Tears of Chaos taking a bit of a swim on the coast there, going towards the military base. And Phoenix have now rotated towards Myalta. So a little bit of a spread out there. Not really much of a clash. Unfortunately, those 4 teams just going their separate ways. Now we just wait to see where they take their fights. We have, of course, 2 teams quite close here in South George. That being Mecha 6 and I believe Testo Gang. Then we have Usor here and of course Rain Gaming that might just see one another pretty soon.
Yeah, well, they are moving up. We've got some Grins already flying up from Fury side edge. Just waiting there right on the edge, trying to see if he can spot anyone. Now that has the bell has rung. The round has started. The shots are flying down. It goes edge, the first one to get knocked. The remainder of the USO team, of course, now just moving up into the surroundings. Wet now getting pushed as Rain starts to move in. Let's see, will he try and... No, he gets 1 hit, 2nd hit, 3rd. Oh! Wow, that would have been shotgun versus shotgun. Up they come, shots still flying across. Quick reload. Oh, nice. What a play. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, no, this is entertainment, if I can say so myself. I mean, these players just keep on pushing, being absolutely relentless, and down goes Rain. Well done to Uso.
Yeah, some good aggression and a nice assault there, rewarding them with some good frags, and of course a knockout of one of the teams. Now we're left with 11 teams remaining. Nodwin Gaming now the first back to the lobby, and the rest of the teams making their way around the map. You can see the zone has decided to be all the way there towards the south, including that military base for the moment, which means we could see a little bit of that spicy bridge camping coming in as per usual. Otherwise, the team's just getting themselves acquainted with the rest of the loot around the map before they make their way in. Some of the teams already inside the zone, and the rest of them just making their way slowly but surely in towards that zone as the blue zone comes and it makes its journey, just encouraging everyone inwards.
Yes, the long march of the blue zone has started. Let's see where these teams will get forced to, and hopefully we'll see some action. We got the Escapades, of course, now moving all the way up from the northwest, just heading up in towards North George there. Let's see, will they continue and move all the way up in towards the zone? Take up a good spot, because the zone itself is fairly open. Just looking at it, we got the players there. Well, the half of Tears of Chaos now moving over towards the military island. And we got a few more teams, of course, now busy with their rotations, heading up in towards zone. We got Odyssey already heading in. So now it's just a matter of time to see where these players are going to move to, and hopefully they'll pick, you know, positions that might be, or that might result in giving us some interesting actions and situations there.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, this zone presents a bit of a choice to the teams, because the fact that it encases both the mainland island and, of course, that military base means that the teams have to decide where exactly they want to settle down. You know, they can either settle on the military base or on the main island somewhere, but that always has the risk of sort of 50-50 of, okay, the zone's going to land on the military base, but we chose the island, so now we need to rotate, or vice versa, you know. So they have to make a decision, and they, you know, it's basically just a shot in the dark of where the zone is actually, the next zone is going to land. So, you know, most of the teams look like they're comfortable with just sitting on the mainland island for the moment, because that's where most of them are right now, and they don't really have that much option to move towards the military base, since those teams have already set themselves up towards those bridges, which pretty much grant entire access to the island.
Yeah, and we've got Odyssey, of course, now moving up right onto that bridge. And yeah, we've got Tears of Chaos. They've got pretty much have the bridge on the eastern side of the map covered. As you can see, they've got they going for their nice 2-2 split there. Got Phoenix just up behind them. SS still holding up in school. So we'll see now, will the players there from Testa Gang make the move up into zone? We've got the Escapades rolling in as well as the players there from Mecha 6 just heading past the ruins. So be curious to see where these teams are going to go.
Sure.
We got Angry falling off a hill. Oh, no flinging just yet. Just Angry getting angry.
Well, interestingly enough, the new zone has been just as indecisive as the rest of the teams, because we still have the mainland island and the military base encased within the zone. So there's still due choices for the teams, but I think most of them will remain comfortable with that mainland island, and most of them are moving in there. Some of them lagging a little bit behind. You can see Odyssey actually just making their way so quickly to try and get across that bridge, and they are taking some fights against Uso right now.
Yeah, and they just took out Uso.
Yeah.
But what's wrong with you guys? Well done. That was amazing. I mean, I saw Uso driving up, and that's it. That's done. Well done.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. No,
Yeah.
Odyssey, they really up to something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was actually going to say, like, I hope we see Odyssey continue to sort of play along the lines of what we saw from them in the previous match. Despite the fact that they have all their players, they still play with that sort of smartness and sort of confidence and aggression. And the fact that they are continuing to do that is really, really nice to see. So I hope they keep it up, because watching them has been quite interesting. And I think I'm going to keep an eye on them continuing forward, regardless of where the fighting happens, just to see what they do. You can see Mecha 6 actually rolling up now towards the bridge as well, taking a bit of a fire from the Odyssey team. No one dropping just yet, but yeah, they have a pole position right now at the head of this bridge. If some teams want to move across, they either got to fight Odyssey or they just got to drop into the drink and swim.
Yeah, and it's great seeing the aggression here. I'm almost too scared to move over to another team, because Odyssey, they just giving us action upon action upon action. I'm scared I miss something. You can see it's like all the teams are somehow drawn towards them today. You've got another team now moving in. That, of course, being the players there from the Night Watch. So the Night Watch just driving past. Vindog already going at it once again. Putting those hits in. There we go. Gets the first.
That's the one half of the Night's Watch. And, I said earlier in the beginning of this match, I said, the Night's Watch, they split themselves up. 2 on the island, 2 on the base. Or 2 on the main island and 2 on the base. But yeah, I was waiting for them to do something interesting with that. The fact that they were split up in that manner, I was wondering what exactly the sort of point of that was. But ultimately, as with a lot of the new and weird things that Night's Watch seem to like to try out, it doesn't really result in anything. So it's unfortunate, but now they're left with half a squad, and well, that's pretty much that.
Yeah, no, it's well, it's always good trying something, I think, but I think there's always just a time and place for it. And sometimes it works out, while in a tournament. Other times
sometimes
not so
you just
much.
have to take the shot. Somebody you're like, all right, we're gonna try this out. It either works or it doesn't, And I think a lot of the time it's a case of we're not really here to sort of push the limits on what we're doing, amongst these really top tier teams. We're sort of trying some new things that might just catch people off guard given the right sort of set of circumstances. But that set of circumstances didn't really transpire, or perhaps not the way they were expecting. So they weren't really able to do much about it. And the fact that they, just tried to rotate across a bridge in the middle of a, towards the end of a match where they know that bridge is most likely going to have players on it is, odd, because they could have gone towards the pier, swum across the river like we've seen so many times, something. But instead, they just drive into a place that's very much occupied. And, well, yeah, the rest is sort of history. In any case, we're going to see that zone now finally make a decision, make up its mind, and it has closed in towards the main island at the top there. Now that's going to mean that the teams need to move in towards that direction. You can see a lot of the teams occupying the sort of coastal areas of the zone. The Night's Watch now have to make their way across, although I don't think they're going to go towards that bridge anytime soon. They're going to go for a swim. The rest of the teams now just making their way up into the zone.
Yeah, we've got Eclipse Gaming. They were trying to get a few hits in towards the FX team, but yeah, they decided it's maybe best just to rotate around, and we saw a few hits, of course, now they're from Phoenix side flying in. We've got the players there from Tester Gang rolling up. We've got the Escapades rolling up. We've got the players, of course, from Mecha 6 rolling up. Everyone now closing up in towards the zone. We've got SS still holding up in Pachinki. And then, of course, the players here from Eclipse now just rotating all the way around in the direction there of Pachinki. But not, it doesn't seem like they're going to try and rotate all the way up just into there. But we'll see now. We've got a few potential shots, of course, now about to go off between the Escapades and the players here from Mecha 6 as they both pull into the same compound. Ooh, Optic puts their head in there to Lil Boat. Lil Boat, of course, they're from the Tester Gang. So
yeah, they've moved up onto quite a fortified position there. So we'll see what comes of that if they decide to rotate out. Night's Watch just behind them might just want to avoid that particular area here, as Odyssey still have their weapons quite acutely trained on this area, and they actually mount their assault to take out these players. And I love this aggression. Optic have just, Odyssey and Optic here moving up, continue to be aggressive, continue just to absolutely put their foot down, take what they want, and well, they get it. The confidence pays off, and the fact that they can play around that confidence as well pays off quite nicely.
Yeah, and it's great seeing them step up and, you know, turning up the heat. It's absolutely amazing. And also another team that I can, you know, say that about is the players here from, you know, Mecha 6. They've also given us some pretty good plays. You know, not all the maneuvers have necessarily been successful, but still, you know, we've seen some pretty good moves as well coming from that. So let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have some good grades there, some grins from Poison as he's trying to put some across over to one of the players there from the Escapades.
Yeah, we'll see who comes out on top of this one, especially now considering that zone has moved all the way towards the northern portion of the playable area, which is going to force all of those teams towards the south to move up. That's Night's Watch, Odyssey, and Phoenix, as well as, of course, Escapades and Mecha 6. Effect's also going to have to move in here, but this fight needs to be resolved here, Mecha 6 versus Escapades. Something needs to give because they need to move relatively soon, and of course you can see they know that, so they're putting the heat in right now, and they're making the shots count, moving in quite swiftly to try and take down the players there from the Escapades. The shots coming through. There goes Sufyan. He's going to get taken down. Tish, next one to fall as Escapades start to drop one by one. And they get hit pretty hard.
Yeah, so Fraz now being the last one left. And I think he might even maybe be AFK. Just judging at how still he is remaining here. You know, completely motionless. Yep, no.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, so, well, that's that. Escapades get taken down and wiped off back to the lobby. And now we just wait for the next few clashes to happen as the teams make their way up to the zone. You can see Odyssey very swiftly making their way in. Night's Watch taking their time as per usual. And, well, of course, Mecha 6 now going to be moving into that zone after winning their fight successfully against Escapades. The rest of the teams have already made their way into the zone. Now, I'm interested to see where the teams start to settle down. Of course, Odyssey shooting in quite quickly means that they're going to choose a very interesting spot to settle down. Tears of Chaos moving in as well could potentially come into a clash against one another, but I think they sniffed that one out. They saw it and they were like, nah, we're okay, we'll just leave.
Well, we've got Effects also fairly close. We've got some shots now already flying across. Optic and company already engaging with the players here from Eclipse. Putting themselves, they thought they were pretty well covered in the building, but fortunately they still have legs and stuff. It still sticks out, you know, and opens up, kind of gives away the position right there. And Odyssey now, of course, moving in. We've got Effects also now just tapping away at the players here from Mecha 6 as they move in. So we're going to see a lot of shots, of course, now starting to fly all over the place. We've got Ash trying to get those hits in on Mr. Ozone. Ash now trying to rotate up. Oh, Odyssey putting those hits into them. You can just see the shots there going across. Poison right up ahead of Vindog. We got Shade and Ash also still holding up. SS just off in the distance. There we go. Savage gets the hit in. Well done.
Yeah, I'm interested to see these, you know, the positioning coming out here. Odyssey choosing to sit in the middle of the zone and give themselves a nice advantage on the top of the hill, just to look down and have a look and see what's going on around them. And the rest of the team's moving up to try and get into a comfortable spot. Night's Watch not having any success with that whatsoever. They're going to get taken down, sent back to the lobby. And now the rest of the teams of Phoenix going to be making their way up. Just the teams sitting around basically in a sort of circle. You can see Mecha 6, SS, Phoenix, the players there from Effects as well, all just sitting around, just waiting for the next zone to be chosen as this blue zone moves in. Odyssey still sitting right there in the center, and that's going to mean that the next zone that gets chosen, they are still greatly safe within that zone. So they have a nice spot here, considering there's about 3 teams above them, which they could potentially take down once the rotations start to come through.
But one thing, looking at the map now, of course, we've got the players here from Odyssey currently in zone. And right behind them, there's quite a bit of open space. But as they move in, we have another team sitting right there at the back. That, of course, being the players from Phoenix. Oh. And we are seeing shots galore now flying up right there from Tears of Chaos as they are now turning up the heat. Returning the favor towards Odyssey. We got the players from Eclipse also getting a quick few hits in. So both teams there, Mecha 6 as well as Odyssey, getting quite a few hits, you know, given over towards them. But we'll see. Will we see? Well, you know, like I'm waiting to see if we're going to see any teams try and rotate up past the side here where we've got Phoenix lying in wait, you know, for the movement, or will we see the teams, of course, now choosing the other side and coming in more from the effect side?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. You know, obviously the threat of Odyssey being there means that they have to choose those two avenues, either go, you know, towards the one side or towards the other side. And that's going to make things quite difficult. Now you can see a little bit of casualties getting taken as that blue zone makes its way in. It is quite cold and deadly. Tears of Chaos have moved up, but they are sandwiched in between Optic and Phoenix at the moment. The rest of the teams still need to make their way in, and they don't have much space to move around. You can see the shots coming in now from Optic as this team from, I can't read that, comes through up here. They're taking some shots now. You can see Mecha 6 trying to make their way in. SS took some heavy damage from the blue zone there. Effects making their way in from the west. Tears of Chaos taking some heavy damage from Phoenix. They're going to get absolutely smacked across the map.
Yeah, and loads of teams now choosing to rather push straight on into the teams here. And Eclipse now being one of those teams that are getting hit severely by all the players in the surrounding area. And there's not a lot of options for them, you know, not a lot of approaches to use to get into the zone safely. We got Mr. Black Jesus, of course, now being the last one left here, pushing up over towards Odyssey. Let's see, will he be able to survive? And it seems like pretty much all the teams are up in the northern side of the zone. Like almost every single team is just chilling up in the north.
Yeah, yeah. It is a very hot spot right now. Very, very difficult to be inside here. You see that blue zone claiming more of its victims here as Odyssey attempt to resurrect their teammates. They have just heal them up, make sure they're sitting pretty for the next couple of fights, because this is definitely a hot zone. You can see the shots coming through. SG, they get completely wiped out there. That's Mecha 6 gone, done and dusted. You can see the shots coming in through now. Effects trying to do some work. Optic putting some hits in as well as Odyssey try to defend this position up north, and they're nice and close to this next zone as well. This is a difficult spot to be in.
Well, Phoenix has moved up all the way into zone, and we've got SS down to their last player, just sneakily moving up behind the players here from Odyssey. Let's see, will Savage be able to get a clutch in? Oh, there we go. Slay gets taken down. Inspector, of course, now being, and a beautiful Gren comes in from Savage's side. He gets up, gets the hits in. Supreme and Vindok, now the last two remaining players left. Let's see, will Supreme get the hit in on Savage? Savage, of course, just up ahead of him. And then we also have the players there from Effects just off to the side. Phoenix now comfortable in zone, just chilling. There we go. Savage takes them down. What? No, sorry, Supreme took down Savage.
Yeah. Right now, Phoenix is getting up very, very aggressive. They're making some very big moves here, and that's going to be pushing the advantage that they know they have. Odyssey, having been in that hotspot for so long, means that they've been taking so much damage, and of course, with Savage being behind them, he did a lot of work. That's going to be Phoenix trying to capitalize on that and shut down Odyssey from putting in some crazy stuff. Meanwhile, Effects moving in, Dicelay and Inspector going to be there to try and meet that challenge. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. It's going to be a difficult one to play around. You can see Dicelay putting some shots in as Effects try and take them down. Odyssey also moving up. Who's gonna catch out who? Oh, that's Effect getting taken down, leaving two teams. It's Odyssey versus Phoenix. And Ziyad is in such a good position, but he gets taken down. Optic actually winning that fight. That's going to put Odyssey in a decent position. Although their health is low, they could still win this out if the shots come through, and they do. That's so much damage going down by Slay. Very, very low. This could go either way, but Phoenix getting hit hard. That's going to put Slay in such a difficult spot.
He is. Everything is riding on him, and yeah, it turns out to be a little bit more tougher than he thought. But that's the thing about these matches, is like you can think, you know, it's like, okay, cool, I've got this angle, but there's always that one angle that you weren't thinking of, and you always have a player coming in from that unsuspected or unexpected angle, you know, and yeah, that is the team or the angle that you know, kind of puts you back in the lobby. But once again, beautiful play there. We got Odyssey this time finishing off, getting themselves the chicken, and they come in to the lobby there with 18 kills. Wow, well done, well done. Phoenix, of course, finishing off in second place, earning themselves 6 kills. Beautiful there as well. Effects coming in third place with only 2 kills. We got SS finishing off with 1 kill in fourth. And then, of course, the players there from Mecha 6 finishing their play off in fifth place, finishing off with 4 kills as well. Then we got Tears of Chaos in 6th place. We got the players from Eclipse taking 7th place. Night Watch finishing off in 8th place. The Escapades in 9th place. We also have the players there from the Testo gang finishing in 10th place. Uso in 11th. And then, of course, Rain going out in 12th place. And what's interesting to notice is that there's a few teams, you know, from 10th all the way up until 8th place. Those 3 teams, you know, going back into the lobby completely empty-handed. You know, no frags whatsoever for them. And that is unfortunately what it is when you're playing in a battle royale. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, especially going up against the competition that we have here. You know, it's yeah, winning the match is a real achievement, because you know it is such tough competition, and yeah, it's not just a walkover. It's really tough. So yeah, well done,
absolutely.
well done, guys. Amazing plays once again. I think we're really looking forward to the third match. I mean, if the first and second ones have been anything to go on, I think this third one will be the climax of the evening. Yeah, really looking forward to that, and hoping to see some great action once again. So I think on that note, we're going to jump up into our highlights of the match, and of course we'll bring you guys back once we have our last match underway, everything ready. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so see you back in a few. Here we go. Oh, that would have been shotgun versus shotgun. Up they come. Shots still flying across. Quick reload. Oh, nice. What a play. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, no, this is entertainment, if I can say so myself. I mean, these players just keep on pushing, being absolutely relentless, and down goes Rain. Well done to Uso.
So there's still due choices for the teams, but I think most of them will remain comfortable with that mainland island, and most of them are moving in there. Some of them lagging a little bit behind. You can see Odyssey actually just making their way so quickly to try and get across that bridge, and they are taking some fights against Uso right now.
Yeah, and they just took out Uso.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you guys? Well done. That was amazing. I mean, I saw Uso driving up, and that's it. That's done. Little boat, of course, they're from the Testo gang. So
yeah, they've moved up onto quite a fortified position there. So we'll see what comes of that if they decide to rotate out. Night's Watch just behind them might just want to avoid that particular area here, as Odyssey still have their weapons quite acutely trained on this area, and they actually mount their assault to take out these players. And I love this aggression. Optic have just Odyssey and Optic here moving up. They continue quite swiftly to try and take down the players there from the escapades. The shots coming through. There goes Sufyan. He's going to get taken down. Tish, next one to fall as escapades start to drop one by one. And they get hit pretty hard.
yeah, so Fraz now being the last one left, and I think he might even maybe be AFK, just judging at how still he is remaining here. You know, completely motionless. Yep, no.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You can just see the shots there going across. Poison right up ahead of Vindog. We got Shade and Ash also still holding up. SS just off in the distance. There we Savage gets the hit in. Well done.
Yeah, I'm interested to see these, the positioning coming out here. Odyssey choosing to sit in the middle of the zone and give themselves a nice advantage on the top of the hill, just to look down and have a look and see what's going on around them. And the rest of the teams moving up to try and get into the map.
Yeah, and loads of teams now choosing to rather push straight on into the teams here. And Eclipse now being one of those teams that are getting hit severely by all the players in the surrounding area. And there's not a lot of options for them, you know, not a lot of approaches to use to get into the zone safely. We got Mr. Black Jesus, of course, now being the last one left here, pushing up over towards Odyssey. Let's see, will he be able to survive? And it seems like pretty much all the teams are up in the northern side. And it seems like pretty much all the teams are up in the northern side of the zone. Like almost every single team is just chilling up in the north.
Yeah. It is a
Wow.
very hot spot right now. Very, very difficult to be inside here. You see that blue zone claiming more of its victims here as Odyssey attempt to resurrect their teammates. They have just healed them up, make sure they're sitting pretty for the next couple of fights, because this is definitely a hot zone. You can see the shot.
Gets taken down. Inspector, of course, now being, and a beautiful grin comes in from Savage Society. Gets up, gets the hits in. Supreme and Vindok, now the last two remaining players left. Let's see, will Supreme get the hit in on Savage? Savage, of course, just up ahead of him. And then we also have the players there from Effects just off to the side. Phoenix now comfortable in zone, just chilling. There we go. Savage takes them down. What? No, sorry, Supreme took down Savage.
So long means that they've been taking so much damage, and of course with Savage being behind them, he did a lot of work. That's going to be Phoenix trying to capitalize on that and shut down Odyssey from putting in some crazy stuff. Meanwhile, Effects moving in, Dicelay and Inspector going to be there to try and meet that challenge. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. It's going to be a difficult one to play around. You can see Dicelay putting some shots in as Effects try and take them down. Odyssey also moving up. Who's going to Yard is in such a good position, but he gets taken down. Optic actually winning that fight. That's going to put Odyssey in a decent position. Although their health is low, they could still win this out if the shots come through, and they do. That's so much damage going down by Slay. Very, very low. This could go either way, but Phoenix getting hit hard. That's going to put Slay in such a difficult spot.
He is, everything is riding on him, and
When the mist is all gone, there's something inside the water. Don't know where they're coming from. They are free to roam above the sea, and their story stays with me like a haunting melody. What do spirits say? What do spirits say in a darker day? What do spirits say?
inside. Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going wrong like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the run. We know that will come. We're out up till dawn. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going wrong like nonsense. Playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. I was angry before, but I circled the drain in my mind. I can't find. Don't let the sun go down. Don't let the sun go down. I was angry before.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right, so we are getting ready for our last match of the day. Man, wow, we've seen some crazy plays over the past few matches, and hopefully it continues up into this third one. It's like the matches, you know, the intensity and the craziness of the gameplay is actually building up as we progress through the matches, as the players, you know, get nice and warmed up. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this last match, hoping that is going to be an absolute insane one. And yeah, we're just waiting now for the match to get underway, to get started up, so we can get everything rolling. So Patchy, that final zone as well in this last one was absolutely insane. Unfortunately, Mr. Slay there didn't manage to escape the shots that were coming in from the Odyssey side. But yeah, some beautiful plays once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. And obviously in this last match, I'm really hoping that the teams, you know, just give it their all, because obviously, you know, it being the last match for the night, you got to get in as much of those points as you can. Yeah, some spicy stuff we've been seeing pretty much all night. It's been great. First match was great. Second match was great. Like you said, yeah, unfortunate that the hits couldn't come in. But honestly, once again, playing a nice power position, they're sitting at the top of the hill. Yeah, sort of using it to their advantage and whatnot.
Sorta.
So yeah, sorta. Great stuff.
No, there was no sorta using it to their advantage. They fully used that to their advantage.
Well, I mean,
it was great. It was great. I mean, but it's the second round that we've seen them really utilize the terrain. You know, using it to their advantage, putting themselves in a beautiful position. You know, being able to clutch so many hits, you know, off of the other teams as they try and move up the hill. Unfortunately enough for them, zone was, you know, kind of forcing everyone up into their position. So great location, you know, yeah, amazing positioning, and some beautiful gunfights from their side. Yeah, pretty much all that needs to be said about that. It was great stuff. If you missed it, go and watch it. Of course, also watch that first game that happened this night. If you missed that one, it was pretty good. But yeah, I'm keen to get into the final game for this evening, and I'd like to see exactly what goes down. I've been very interested lately in what a lot of the strats that the teams are bringing to the table, a lot of interesting things, new things that are being done. We like to see it. Sometimes it doesn't work out as much as you would like, but we've seen some pretty good ones being executed here every now and then. So yeah, it's been great. And I'm quite keen to see some more. So one thing that I'm particularly looking forward to is, you know, looking at the current teams as they are now, you know, and the level of play that they are giving us, you know, just seeing how that then transpires up in towards the Mzansi League that we have that's starting pretty soon. Yeah, you know, seeing how these teams are going to perform, how they're going to place, you know, and I'm expecting, you know, like insane levels of aggression from these teams. Obviously not over the top, you know, but just based on what we've been seeing in today's matches, I really think we're going to be in for quite a show. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you, because, you know, we're at the very least in that league, we're going to see a lot of lessons and things being learned and progress, you know, and improvement of teams from day to day. And at most, we're going to see some incredible performances from some very capable teams. So, you know, I'm very keen to see what's going to go down there. And at the end of the day, once that is all said and done, you know, we're going to have a lot of far more capable, you know, players. And that's, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You know, you play in the leagues, you get better and better, you keep pushing yourself, pushing your team, getting, you know, better and better as you continue to play, and you get, you know, you just keep upping the bar, raising the level, and just getting better and better. That's what it's all about. So yeah, I'm super keen for that. That's going to be a really great thing to experience. So yeah, I hope that goes well. With that being said, though, we're going to move into the final match of tonight with a nice spicy zone. It's a nice, you know, just one cutting the map in half, giving us access to pretty much most of what we're looking for. The teams are going to find this one pretty comfortable. So nothing crazy like that first map. But yeah, we'll see what the teams do with it. And this is exactly the flight path that I was talking about in the previous match.
Yeah.
The exact one, taking us all the way up towards Stolba. You know, so it opens up the map to so many more spots that the teams could potentially jump up into. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see where these teams then choose to move into. You know, where they're going to go, which spots they're going to take. And, you know, how they're going to use that. And, you know, will we see Odyssey come in once again with another clutch play for this round?
Who knows?
Or will we see another team stepping up, you know, and you know, showing us what they've got. So and also like and also just thinking about, you know, about the Mzansi League is it's going to be a whole different level of gameplay. A whole different level of gameplay. I mean, because we've seen many tournaments and leagues, you know, over the past while, you know, and the level of gameplay that we've been seeing from the players. But now, this is kind of like, you know, in a sense, like the culmination of that.
Yeah.
You know, we've got all these teams up here, and you know, the teams, even the teams that qualified that we aren't seeing in the lobby here today. You know, those teams are still out there practicing, getting, you know, their strats and their movements and everything perfected as much as they can. And I really think when we move up in towards Mzansi and get that ball on the roll, we are gonna see some pretty insane plays taking place right there.
Yeah, for sure. You can have a look at the map now. Interesting stuff. The zone is all the way here up towards the north. That means that Uzor, who dropped out first right at the beginning of that flight path, are going to have to make quite a long journey. But also notably, the majority, in fact, all of the teams have chosen the southern portion of the main island there to drop down onto. No one's actually chosen anything up there towards the northern portion, so there's literally a whole lot of empty space there that could potentially become the next zone or could potentially be utilized for it. All the rest of the teams just are on that main bulk of the main island there. And right up in Yasnaya, we've actually got quite a number of teams, about 3 teams chilling there quite close to one another.
Yeah, now we just need to see whether or not these teams are going to choose to push up, you know, start the fight, or are they just gonna, you know, wait, give it a little bit of time. But it does definitely seem like, you know, the team here from Odyssey, they are not wasting any time, already getting their, you know, already moving in, turning up the aggression. You know, there is a bit of a split. We have Mr. Sudden, of course, way off on the far edge over there, but the remainder of the team, they are moving up, not wasting any time, and pushing up straight. Well, almost nearly straight up towards the teams that we've got here. And it's great to see the players there from Nightwatch also now deciding not to go for, you know, any of those spots way on the edge of zone. They decided to drop into the hot mess that we've got about to unfold right here in Yasnaya. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how they, you know, how they handle themselves.
Yeah, this time Night's Watch, they're sitting right there in the thick of things. They're not out towards the outskirts. They're not playing inside the blue zone. They're not separating their players. Right now, they've just got themselves stacked right up against Odyssey and Mecha 6, no less. Two of those big boys that we were talking about a bit earlier. You know, they've been putting up some really great fights recently. So definitely dunking yourself into the hot, the deep end of the frying pan there. The rest of the teams pretty much spread out across the map. Nothing really too crazy. So it's really only Yasnaya that we've got our eyes on right now.
Yeah, so we'll see how this, of course, then unfolds. You know, whether these teams are going to start moving up, you know, try getting those hits in, and hopefully we'll see some action, of course, then from the players there from Night's Watch. You know, they are in a pretty good position. You know, we have Supreme and Optic, of course, now moving up in towards their position there, you know, slowly but surely, but hopefully, you know, they'll start engaging rather sooner than later, you know, and yeah, give us some good shots, some good angles there. But only time will tell, and of course it depends on, you know, their positioning. We got the Hound just holding up right on the edge here. He's got a nice overview of, you know, the remainder of Yasnaya just up ahead of him. So let's see, maybe they can give us some good call-outs here on, you know, where the other players are, get some good shots in. But I think in the meantime we might even see Optic, you know, pushing up straight in towards the players there just in front of him.
Yeah, I was gonna question whether or not, you know, rotation out might be smarter, you know, depending on what the situation is. But it looks like Odyssey quite happy to just go head to head with Mecha 6 here and really just wait for the opportune moment to strike as they get themselves set up there. You can see quite close up here towards the members of Mecha 6. You can see everyone's getting prepared for something to go down. We'll see if those choices are made just now. We're just waiting for those seconds to tick by until they spring their trap, pull the trigger, and see if their attacks are successful. This could go very well, or it could go very, very poorly.
So let's see how this goes. Hopefully we're going to see that action there. But we have the Mecha 6 team now moving up. Oh, Poison and Shade just trying to move up. Optic gets the angle there, puts the shots in. We got Mr. Supreme, of course, now up on the roof, trying to get a few hits in on Joker as well. So let's see, will they get those hits going? Got a quick grain flying up. Poison, of course, now pushing up right over towards Optic. And this now, in a sense, opens up the door for the Night Watch.
Yeah.
And this is a great moment for them to start moving in, closing in, try getting those third parties in, you know, and taking out these teams.
Yeah, knocking out these big teams would be quite a knock in right in the beginning of the match. So they could potentially capitalize off of it, but it all depends on how Optic or Odyssey and Mecha 6 decide to play here, because, you know, Nice Watch could just capitalize off the ruins of whatever results out of this fight if the fight is executed. You can see Odyssey still sitting up here getting some utility ready, and they're making sure that they're not going down unnecessarily. They're playing a little bit cautious here. Obviously, you can't just assault them right now. Mecha 6 has posted themselves up pretty smartly at the moment, so they can't all just be rushed at once. So Odyssey have to pick their spots and pick their moments very, very carefully.
But this is definitely one thing that I hope that the players from Nightwatch, you know, take away from this particular position. You know, here we've got two teams moving up on each other, and this is the opportune moment for them to start rotating up. You know, they've got people on watch. You can see Killmonger and Hound. You know, they're just holding up right on the edge there, and they should, you know, put the communications through and tell their team, you know, move up, you know, like these two guys are, these two other teams are, you know, distracted. This is our opportunity, of course, now to move in. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, hopefully that's something that they start doing. You know, not expecting it today, but, you know, like somewhere in the near future, you know, in any of the upcoming Inkosi seasons.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you sort of have to guess at and learn at when it comes to, you know, the correct moments to move in. You know, obviously you hear those shots and those nades going off in the distance, and you wonder, okay, is that something I can move up on, or is that something I just need to stay away from? In any case, some shots are going to be going in from Odyssey. They find their first pick, which opens things up pretty nicely. But you can see Odyssey, they're playing very, very smart. They're not just going in for the greedy thirsts. Instead, they're playing slow, making sure they're sussing out everything they need to suss out before they make their way in. Optic going to be jumping in, clearing everything out, making sure that is all done and dusted. And Odyssey moving up bit by bit, making sure that all their bases are covered as they move up. And this has been the reason for their recent success. They're just so methodical and able to really just step-by-step process and eliminate all the threats in an area. And you can see Mecha 6 now, they're just trying to pull back, trying to get themselves in a better spot or get themselves out as quickly as they can, as Odyssey are on the approach.
Yeah, we got Rain also now just pulling up in towards zone, and you can hear the players there from Mecha 6, of course, now pushing out Optic, putting a few shots in. Sidon and now joining in. We can see the damage just being taken there by the players from Mecha 6. Oh, there we go, getting that VSS engaged. And it seems like the players, of course, now managed to make the escape just off into the distance there. But had we seen the players there from Nightwatch, you know, moving in with them, you know, as they move forward, you know, that would have been the opportune moment for them to get the bounce on the teams there. But we've got Effects now rolling up. They're heading over towards Nightwatch as well. So let's see, will Nightwatch take any of these fights as Effects now, of course, start to move in right between them there. Nice little chorus of bikes going on over here.
Yeah, they're just going to zoom their way past very, very swiftly. Nightwatch not getting caught out or not catching anyone out just yet. You can see a lot of teams now towards the southwest. Pachinki moving up. You can see SS and Uzo also moving up. The zone all the way up here towards the northern portion of the map. Most of the teams are here inside. We have 11 teams and 42 players left alive. And, well, now we wait once again for the engagers to come in. Mecha 6 managed to successfully escape from the clutches of Odyssey for the moment. They are relatively unchallenged, and the zone is big enough that all the teams can sit relatively comfortable inside here for a little bit at least.
You know, we had a pretty good movement there, you know, pretty good rotations there from Mecha 6, you know, managing to still pull out without getting the whole team taken down. You know, even with Odyssey moving in as they were moving in, you know, we still saw Mecha 6, you know, being able to make it all the way to the backside there of Yasnaya, all the way to the western edge, get in their vehicle, get out, you know, and safely reposition or relocate, you know, onto the other side. But we've got the players there from SS, of course, now moving up in towards their position now. So let's see, will the players there from Mecha 6 get out of this one, or will we have SS pulling up? We got Poison, Shade, and Ash, of course. But it seems like SS are going straight across, heading right up in towards Yasnaya's side. So let's see, will they show us any action? And of course, as we know, just up ahead, just in front of them here, we've got Phoenix and the players of Odyssey holding up in Yasnaya. So this is going to be interesting one, seeing where SS are going to go. Will they make a successful rotation through Yasnaya, or you know, will they get caught in the process?
Yeah, we will see. We will see if the sandwiches come in. We'll see. We'll see. Right down at the bottom there, you can see Uzo just next to. I keep forgetting that team's name. Something with a T.
The players from Testo Gang.
There we go. That's the one. Damn.
Oh, shots flying right up towards them. They're taking hits. Little boat goes down. Oh, and they managed to take out one of the tires there. Well done. Quick thirsting there by Uso. Well done. Well played.
Yeah, managing to get those hits in. Just don't let anyone get across your sight lines for free. Gotta make them pay for it, and well, pay they will.
Optic taking several hits there. Maniac just going absolutely crazy, taking hit after hit. But Phoenix now also moving up. We got Ziad right there on the drop, so they've got some nice upgraded loot as well. You know, so it's definitely going to change how things might unfold. We got Supreme, of course, now up on the roof here, trying to get a few hits over in towards the outside. You got Vindok now also trying to close the gap between him and the players there from Phoenix. In fact, the whole team from Odyssey, they, you know, starting to move up bit by bit.
Yeah, definitely trying to answer back, see if they can get anything in return for the hit onto Optic, but so far not been successful in doing so. Phoenix getting away with that one relatively free. Odyssey trying to push themselves up there towards that take the fight, but Phoenix might just be happy with taking that one, let Odyssey push straight into them or just get themselves out. We'll see how they decide to get in there. You can see them start to move around quite quickly, and the shots coming through from Vindog to try and catch them out as they try to make their way out. But it seems like they'll be successful in their escape. And yeah, they're just going to pick up Optic and leave for the moment. You can see the zone all the way up there towards the north side, just encapsulating Saverni up there. And we still have 11 teams and 40 players left. None of them wanting to go out right now. This is the final match for the night, and they know it. They know it well because they're trying to make sure they get the best spots possible. And that's leaving quite a few players left alive, and the zone is very, very small. They're going to be quite clumped up, and that's going to be very difficult. There's going to be a lot of gunfights happening right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we see the players already here from Phoenix now pushing up on SS, moving in bit by bit. Jabro, of course, now moving up to receive them there. Got Inspector and Ziad on the receiving end. Jabro getting it taken down. We got Savage and Born now ready. Ooh, there we go. Beautiful hit from Born coming in on Ziad. Got Inspector right there for the res. We got Slay and Maniac, of course, now also trying to move up. Savage pushing in. Oh, gets taken down. Everything is now riding on Born. Will he be able to defend as the players now start pushing in? And we also have another team, of course, now just off to the side trying to move up as well. That, of course, then being the players there from Nightwatch. So let's see, will Nightwatch capitalize on this? They have once again a fantastic opportunity to move in and get some shots, get some frags in. But we see the players there from Phoenix, of course, taking down SS. Well done.
Yeah, all the teams making their way up there towards the zone, just getting themselves in position. You can see Odyssey, they've made their way so deep in that they're in the next zone even, and they roll straight up on the players of Mecha 6 once again. So Odyssey coming back to continue their fight and continue to claim the players. But meanwhile, Tears of Chaos are going to be getting that third party in, making sure those shots are flying and free kills are not being gleaned right now. Lots of shots going in, and Odyssey not feeling too great after that one. Vindog, last one alive. Supreme just losing his life slowly here. He's gonna have to be rezzed, and rezzed he will be, but he gets taken down once again by Shade and Thirsted as well. It is on to Supreme, and well, things are looking quite difficult. He's pinched right here in this corner, and there's not too much he can do about it.
Yeah, we got Uso also not pulling up, so we've got the players from Mecha 6, Uso, and down goes several players. Shots upon shots upon shots. Oh, there we go. Edge and Wet, the last two hopefuls left, gets the thirst going. Ash, of course, not just trying to escape. We got Effects pulling up as well. There we go. Supreme also trying to sneak in.
Yeah.
Oh, Supreme gets the molly up on himself. That's a bit of a tough one.
That is definitely not what you want, especially considering I was about to say Supreme made a good choice in getting aggressive here and trying to catch out the team at the top of this building, because that's really what you want to do, trying to capitalize on what they were trying to do up here and taking out the other team. He's still managing to put the hits in. This is very difficult. There's a lot of players jumping around here, but Supreme dancing around the room, just managing to survive as long as possible. Finally will be taken down, but that was quite a spicy play. In any case, Uzor gonna manage to survive just a little bit longer. SG still alive there. The rest of the players inside the zone just scattered around. See Phoenix taking a bit of damage there. Rain putting some hits in. Shots going back and forth.
And everything now riding on Bread. Will he get these hits in on Phoenix as he now tries to move in? Phoenix is fairly low on health. Oh, Ziad right up ahead and takes him down. Well done.
Yeah, so that's Rain sent back to the lobby. Meanwhile, Shade is sitting here last alive for Mecha 6, going up against the Uzo squad there. You can see Fecht still in the lobby there, up towards the north, Phoenix all the way towards the east. Escapades down there towards the south, and Tears of Chaos just sitting in their spot there, quite happy to just stay around for the moment.
So it's interesting, we got 7 teams remaining, and man, we are in for some hard action. And we saw that players, the teams that were dominating the previous few rounds, of course, now getting taken down. So now we've got a big change up with the teams, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the team to end off, you know, with the chicken dinner for this round.
Yeah.
Because the tables have turned completely.
Yeah, they certainly have. A lot of these players stepping up to try and make something happen. Meanwhile, Shade trying to make something happen himself, but he will be taken down as Uso move in and make sure that he is dealt with. That's going to leave us with 6 teams, 20 players, and the zone about to make its way in once again. We have our teams being forced up to try and reposition. And yeah, just make sure that they're staying honest, make sure that they're staying on their feet. Moving in, those 6 teams are going to be sitting there just out towards the side. You can see about 3 teams off towards the western side, and Uzo, Phoenix, they're mostly inside the zone at the moment. Escapades need to make their way in from the south. Uzo putting some shots in towards Tears of Chaos as they try and make their way up.
Yeah, we'll see which way around they're going to go. We've got Effects, of course, now moving up from the northern side of the zone. We've got the players there, of course, from the Testo gang just pulling up on them as well. Shots, of course, now flying off in all directions. We've got a double drop coming down, so that will definitely change the luck of some of the teams. But we've got the Testo gang, and they are flying up right past Phoenix, choosing it to stop. Oh, slow down right in the open there. Maniac, of course, managing to get those hits in on Shakes. Now they're moving up once again, heading up over towards Testo Uso. So there's not a lot of luck for them. Oh, you can see Effects also now putting up a few hits. But it seems like the players there, of course, now from the Testo gang using that to their advantage. We got Tears of Chaos now just pulling up on the Escapades. There we go, gets those shots in, and down goes the Escapade. So well done, well played. We got Uso also tapping off a few hits. trying to get that shot in towards effects. We got Dexter, of course, getting taken down. So Uso still on a 4-man team. We got 5 teams remaining in total, and the players there from the Testo gang managing to make it all the way up towards the drop. So yeah, they get to replenish their meds and some of their armor there as well, upgrading it in the process if they, you know, didn't already have any level 3 gear, but now they do. That of course being if they can utilize it fully. And they are quite out in the open there. You can just hear those shots coming in. Havoc. Oh, down goes Beach Police. It's up to Havoc now. Let's see, will he be able to get any of these hits in on Tears of Chaos, or will he get taken down? He's got a little bit of a terrain advantage there. He's got 1 or 2 ridges to use. I don't know why he's shooting at the grass. That's not how you raise a teammate, but anyway, it's probably worth a shot.
Yeah, I guess so. Right now, that zone is looking very bare bones right now, very barren. There's nothing much going on in there in the way of cover. There's like a couple of little things down there, some rocks and bales and whatnot, but ultimately nothing really. Some trees in the way, but ultimately just a flat sort of terrain here. We're going to see how these players deal with this pressure. There's 5 teams here. You can see Phoenix all the way on the one side. On the other side, we have, of course, Testo gang. We have the Tears of Chaos, and we have Uzo just chilling there. We'll see how they respond to the need to rotate.
We see Opium, of course, now getting hit. I'm not surprised because he was standing out in the open, like clearly out in the open, busy looting a box. That is not particularly ideal. It's not something I would recommend, especially not at this level of gameplay. Trying to go up against these teams, it of course now enables the players there from Uso to move up and the shots to come in from behind. Ooh.
Yeah, it is definitely so difficult to engage at this stage because when you give your position away, there's always another team looking in your direction to try and take you out. You can see Phoenix putting some shots in as well. Effects and Uzo right head to head. Tears of Chaos is just behind them though, so Uzo can't just sit pretty. And actually we have Ziad moving up from Phoenix just behind Opium to try and capitalize on what's going on here.
We got Maniac also now trying to pick off the players there from the Testo gang. So this is definitely a tough spot to be in. We got Tears of Chaos. They are now getting ready to push up straight towards the players here. Let's see. Oh, drive-by action. Gets the hit in on Havoc. Will Beach Police be able to fend them off? No, he gets sent back to the lobby.
Yeah, some nice decisive movements there from Tears of Chaos. They claim that spot. 4 teams, 11 players. Phoenix moving up into the zone as well. Effect straggling along behind. You can see Opium just moving his way around. Uzo getting themselves set up quite nicely. Tears of Chaos as well, just moving along the edge there. It looks like Fury is getting dangerously close to some of those Phoenix members, just having to turn off. It's quite a difficult spot to be in. There's so little cover. They just have to play around every pixel that they can. It's all going to be taking some shots towards Tears of Chaos. Lots of stuff going on.
We got 10 players still remaining in this last few zones. Phoenix fairly spread out at the moment, but it is, you know, kind of in their favor. They're hiding behind two of the remaining trees in zone 2 of the 4 trees. So really banking on that. So they got kind of half the cover taken already. Ziad now rotating up. Is this going to be a wise choice? He crashes into the drop. Unfortunately for them, there's a few drops in the way as well, which can of course be used as cover. As you can see, the players using it now. Got some shots flying over. Maniac getting, well, really caught up in the crossfire there. Got a few grains flying up. The vehicle also now a bit of a danger point there for Ziad.
Yeah, Ziad's still managing to stay alive for this long is quite impressive. Trying to get those hits in. The Maniac falls in the meantime, but is always also making their way up. And this is going to be difficult. Tears of Chaos taking some heavy hits. Zor putting on the pressure. Ziad's still there in that position. Now, this really is a fight between Tears of Chaos and Uzor to try and get that dominant position.
But you can also see, you know, the players are fairly limited with their ammunition because, like, I would have, you know, taken the opportunity to try and blow up the vehicle, which is the one that, you know, Phoenix was hiding behind. But yeah, instead they'd rather try and shoot, you know, into the smoke, not wasting too much of, you know, the limited supplies that they've got left. There's not a lot to choose from this late in the game, and we got Uso now managing to make it up in towards zone. Ziad just on the outside of zone, but he's going to have to move up as blue zone is now moving in. Fury putting those hits across. Let's see, will Ziad be able to make it up in towards zone successfully? Will Uso get the clutch? Will they get the chicken, or will it be Tears of Chaos? Or will we even see an amazing play there from Ziad? Oh, down goes Fury. War and company now trying to move up. A lot of flanking happening. The players, of course, now trying to get a good position in zone. Fury taking a few hits, putting several hits across over towards Patriot as well. Jinx now gets taken down, so everything is now riding on Patriot. Let's see, will he get it? It's up.
It's going to be so difficult with Ziad moving up as well playing perfectly around those boxes. They have the perfect cover. Ziad now the last one left alive. Uzor is just playing this one really, really well, using those drops as covers, getting their hits in. They even had a player all the way towards the back doing some precision shooting, and there it is. Well played.
Yep, there we go, there we go. What a finish, what a way to end of a match. Uso, of course, now coming in with the chicken dinner. They're finishing their play off on 13 kills. Well done. We got Phoenix claiming second place, and also a very impressive play there from them. 11 kills. We got Tears of Chaos finishing off with 6 kills in third place. We got Effects going empty-handed, as well as the players there of Testo Gang. Of course, the players there from the Escapades, as well as almost the team there from Mecha 6. So you got the team in 4th, 5th, and 6th place going home empty-handed. And then, of course, the team there from Mecha 6 managing to get 1 kill in 7th place. We got Rain up in 8th place. We got the players there from Odyssey, sadly going out in 9th place this round. The Night Watch, as well as SS, also going home empty-handed in 10th and 11th place. So yet again, it's interesting to see how many of these teams that we've got in the top, you know, the top placements there, how many of them basically kind of killed the lobby.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much what they did. They kind of killed the lobby. They kind of took out all the opposing teams, you know, and they left, yeah, almost nothing for the other players, you know, to be able to get. We've got a 1 or 2 kills, you know, to going to the other teams, but the majority of the kills going to those top 3 placing teams. We've got the 1 kill going over towards the players from Mecha 6. We got, you know, 5 kills going over to Rain, so that's 6 kills. 1 more kill going to Supreme, so that's 7 kills. Only 7 kills going to any of the teams other than the top 3 placing teams. They took out the whole lobby. Uso, Phoenix, and Tears of Chaos. They cleaned out the lobby.
Yeah, and those are the kind of scores that you want to be getting as well. You know, getting the high kill count plus the positioning is really, really what we've been talking about for quite some time. You know, that's sort of, that's your ticket to get into higher spots. If you want to rise, you need both. You need the positioning and the kills. You know, getting the kills is great. Getting the positioning is great. Having both is just absolutely optimal. So we've been seeing a lot of that recently, but that's been changing hands. You know, we saw some teams in the first couple of matches in the top, and now they're sort of towards the bottom, and other teams have risen. You know, there are all of these teams here in these 3 lobbies today. They've put in so much effort, really trying their best to you know, get the positioning, get the kills in, get their points up, and you know, really just props to them for just putting in the work and doing their best. So yeah, it's great, and yeah, I'm super keen to see some more action going forward into the future.
Yeah, well, there we go. There we have it. Well done to all the teams for participating today. Thanks for putting up some amazing action. It's really, really great to see, you know, how the teams have transformed and how they've evolved, you know, just over the past few weeks, you know, even coming from the previous few seasons, you know, just moving up and seeing all of that, you know, of course, then being delivered today. Some amazing action, and I cannot wait to see what is going to happen in the Mzansi League. It is going to be absolutely insane. If this is what we're having in our qualifiers, just imagine what the league itself is going to be like. It's going to be absolutely insane. You know,
absolutely.
And if you're not going to be watching that, you are definitely going to be missing out. That is for sure something that needs to be seen. I mean, these teams have proved it. They've given us the show. They've put up the fight. You know, given us the performance. Everything has absolutely been insane. Yeah, so I can't commend these teams enough. I mean, well done, well played. Some fantastic work you guys have done here. And yeah, just keep up the work, and we hope to see even more of this, of course, now moving up forward into our Mzansi League.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys, so there we go. There we have it. That is the end of our monthly finals. before we start off the Mzansi League, of course, Inkosi Cup is not done. It's going to continue on. But we're also now going to be bringing in the Mzansi League as well on top of that. So, yeah, there is going to be a lot of action all over the place. And, yeah, you got to keep your eyes on everything because there's going to be so much of that. But we'll, yeah, as soon as the info drops on social media, you guys will most likely see that. So keep an eye on the socials. Be sure to have a look at Nodwin Gaming, as you can see right over here. Follow them on Facebook, YouTube. No? Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. As well as, I think, Instagram maybe. Not 100% sure. But have a look. I'm pretty sure you'll find them on most of the platforms there. All the info will be there. But without any further ado, let's jump into the highlights for this match. And, of course, we're going to be ending off the stream right over after that. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you to the teams for giving us an amazing show. And, yeah, let's move on up onto the next part. There we go. Wow, that would have been shotgun versus shotgun. Up they come, shots still flying across. Quick reload. Oh, nice. What a play. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, no, this is entertainment, if I can say so myself. I mean, these players just keep on pushing, being absolutely relentless, and down goes Rain. Well done to Uso.
So there's still two choices for the teams, but I think most of them will remain comfortable with that mainland island, and most of them are moving in there. Some of them lagging a little bit behind. You can see Odyssey actually just making their way so quickly to try and get across that bridge, and they are taking some fights against Uso right now.
Yeah, and they just took out Uso.
Yeah.
What? What's wrong with you guys? Well done. That was amazing. I mean, I saw Uso driving up, and that's it. That's done. Little boat, of course, they're from the Tester gang. So
yeah, they've moved up onto quite a fortified position there. So we'll see what comes of that if they decide to rotate out. Night's Watch just behind them might just want to avoid that particular area here, as Odyssey still have their weapons quite acutely trained on this area, and they actually mount their assault to take out these players. And I love this aggression. Optic have just Odyssey and Optic here moving up, continue quite swiftly to try and take down the players there from the escapades. The shots coming through. There goes Sufyan. He's going to get taken down. Tish, next one to fall as escapades start to drop one by one. And they get hit pretty hard.
Yeah, so Fraz now being the last one left. And I think he might even maybe be AFK. Just judging at how still he is remaining here. You know, completely motionless. Yep, no.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You can just see the shots there going across. Poison right up ahead of Vindog. We got Shade and Ash also still holding up. SS just off in the distance. There we go. Savage gets the hit in. Well done.
Yeah, I'm interested to see these, the positioning coming out here. Odyssey choosing to sit in the middle of the zone and give themselves a nice advantage on the top of the hill, just to look down and have a look and see what's going on around them. And the rest of the teams moving up to try and get into the map.
Yeah, and loads of teams now choosing to rather push straight on into the teams here. And Eclipse now being one of those teams that are getting hit severely by all the players in the surrounding area. And there's not a lot of options for them, you know, not a lot of approaches to use to get into the zone safely. We got Mr. Black Jesus, of course, now being the last one left here, pushing up over towards Odyssey. Let's see, will he be able to survive? And it seems like pretty much all the teams are up in the northern side. And it seems like pretty much all the teams are up in the northern side of the zone. Like almost every single team is just chilling up in the north.
Yeah, yeah. It is a very hot spot right now. Very, very difficult to be inside here. You see that blue zone claiming more of its victims here as Odyssey attempt to resurrect their teammates there, just heal them up, make sure they're sitting pretty for the next couple of fights, because this is definitely a hot zone. You can see the shot.
It's taken down. Inspector, of course, now being, and a beautiful grin comes in from Savage Society. Gets up, gets the hits in. Supreme and Vindog, now the last two remaining players left. Let's see, will Supreme get the hit in on Savage? Savage, of course, just up ahead of him. And then we also have the players there from Effects just off to the side. Phoenix now comfortable in zone, just chilling. There we go. Savage takes them down. What? No, sorry, Supreme took down Savage.
so long means that they've been taking so much damage. And of course, with Savage being behind them, he did a lot of work. That's going to be Phoenix trying to capitalize on that and shut down Odyssey from putting in some crazy stuff. Meanwhile, Effects moving in, Dicelay and Inspector going to be there to try and meet that challenge. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. It's going to be a difficult one to play around. You can see Dicelay putting some shots in as Effects try and take them down. Odyssey also moving up. Who's going to catch? Yard is in such a good position, but he gets taken down. Optic actually winning that fight. That's going to put Odyssey in a decent position. Although their health is low, they could still win this out if the shots come through, and they do. That's so much damage going down by Slay. Very, very low. This could go either way, but Phoenix getting hit hard. That's going to put Slay in such a difficult spot.
He is. Everything is riding on him, and yeah, it turns out to be a little bit more.
So, just next to, I keep forgetting that team's name. Something with a T.
The players from Testo Gang.
There we go. That's the one. Damn.
Oh, shots flying right up towards them. They're taking hits. Little boat goes down. Oh, and they managed to take out one of the tires there. Well done. Played. Everything is now riding on Born. Will he be able to defend as the players now start pushing in? And we also have another team, of course, now just off to the side trying to move up as well. That, of course, then being the players there from Nightwatch. So let's see, will Nightwatch capitalize on this? They have once again a fantastic opportunity here to move in and get some shots, get some frags in. But we see the players there from Phoenix, of course, taking down SS. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, Supreme gets the molly up on himself. That's a bit of a tough one.
That is definitely not what you want, especially considering I was about to say Supreme made a good choice in getting aggressive here and trying to catch out the team at the top of this building, because that's really what you want to do, try and capitalize on what they were trying to do up here and taking out the other team. He's still managing to put the hits in. This is very difficult. There's a lot of players jumping around here, but Supreme dancing around the room, just managing to survive as long as possible. That was quite a spicy play. In any case, Uzor gonna manage to survive just a little bit longer. SG still alive there. The rest of the players inside the zone just scattered around. See Phoenix taking a bit of damage there. Rain putting some hits in. Shots going back and forth.
And everything now riding on Bread. Will he get these hits in on Phoenix as he now tries to move in? Phoenix is fairly low on health. Oh, Ziad right up ahead and takes him down. Well, the players, the teams that were dominating the previous few rounds, of course, now getting taken down. So now we've got a big change up with the teams, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the team to end off, you know, with the chicken dinner for this round.
Yeah.
Because the tables have turned completely.
Yeah, they certainly have a lot of these players stepping up to try and make something happen. Meanwhile, Shade trying to make something happen himself, but he will be taken down as Uso move in, make sure that he...
Of course, managing to get those hits in on Shakes. Now they're moving up once again, heading up over towards Testo Uso. So there's not a lot of luck for them. Oh, you can see Effects also now putting up a few hits. But it seems like the players there, of course, now from the Testo gang using that to their advantage. We got Tears of Chaos now just pulling up on the escapades. There we go, gets those shots in and down goes the escapade. So well done, well played. We got Uso
behind them though, so Uso can't just sit pretty. And actually we have Ziad moving up from Phoenix just behind Opium to try and capitalize on what's going on here.
We got Maniac also now trying to pick off the players there from the Testo gang. So this is definitely a tough spot to be in. We got Tears of Chaos. They are now getting ready to push up straight towards the players here. Let's see. Oh, drive-by action. Gets the hit in on Havoc. Will Beach Police be able to fend them off? No, he gets sent back to...
Yeah, some nice decisive movements there from Tears of Chaos. They claim that spot. 4 teams, 11 players. Phoenix moving up into the zone as well. Effect straggling along behind. You can see OBM just moving his way around. Uzo getting themselves set up quite nicely. Tears of Chaos as well, just moving along the edge there. Looks like Fury is getting dangerously close to some of those Phoenix members, just having to turn off. Is it quite...
Tears of Chaos, or will we even see an amazing play there from Ziad? Oh, down goes Fury. War and company now trying to move up. A lot of flanking happening. The players, of course, now trying to get a good position in zone. Fury taking a few hits, putting several hits across over towards Patriot as well. Jinx now gets taken down, so everything is now riding on Patriot. Let's see, will he get it? It's up.
It's going to be so difficult with Ziad moving up as well, playing perfectly around those boxes. They have the
Trying to get a good position in zone. Fury taking a few hits, putting several hits across over towards Patriot as well. Jinx now gets taken down, so everything is now riding on Patriot. Let's see, will he get it? It's up.
It's going to be so difficult with Ziad moving up as well, playing perfectly around those boxes. They have the perfect cover. Ziad now the last one left alive. Uzor is just playing this one really, really well, using those drops as covers, getting their hits in. They even had a player all the way towards the back doing some precision shooting, and there